This is a video about wheel size, but stick around because I have some surprising information about the Toyo Open Country MT tire that you'll want to hear at the end of the video. Hi, and welcome to Kaler Adventure. Why did I get smaller wheels? Well, let me roll out the wheels that I'm talking about and we'll take a look. This is a Kumho brand Road Venture MT71 tire. It's a mud terrain tire. And the size is 37 by 13.5. And it's mounted on a 20-inch method wheel. And the wheel is 11 inches deep. This is my new tire and wheel combo. This is a Toyo Open Country MT, another mud terrain tire. This is also 37 by 13.5. And this is mounted on a KMC 17-inch beadlock wheel, and that wheel is 9 inches deep. So both of these are the same size overall diameter, and both of them are the same size tire width. So what's really the difference here, and why did I switch? Well, the key is in the wheel diameter. This is a 20-inch wheel, and this is a 17-inch wheel. And there are big differences just in that 3-inch difference between the wheel diameters. The first big difference is in the amount of sidewall between the exterior of the tire and the wheel. On a 20-inch wheel, we have about 8.5 inches of sidewall between wheel and the ground. And on this 17-inch wheel, we're gonna have about 10 inches of sidewall between the outside and the wheel. As we're driving over rocks and this tire is compressing and squishing, that's going to give us a whole lot more cushion and a whole lot more clearance and room before a large impact could potentially hit the wheel or cause some kind of damage. Another factor is how rigid these tires are. So on this tire, we have a 9-inch deep wheel, which is leaving a lot of extra rubber on the outside, and a lot more room for this tire to move around. It's going to give a softer ride overall because it's more flexible. On this wheel, we have an 11-inch wide wheel, and that's holding the tire farther out. It's keeping it much more rigid, and it's not going to flex as much. That's going to give you a harsher ride both on and off-road. Another factor is weight. This method wheel, because it's a 20-inch wheel and 11 inches deep, is actually a lot heavier than 17-inch wheels. This is a 44-pound wheel by itself. And there are similar method wheels, 17-inch wheels, that are only 27 pounds. So if weight is a consideration, that can be a pretty big deal. Having said that, this wheel is actually about the same weight. It's around 45 pounds, and that's because it's a beadlock wheel. Instead of using air pressure to hold the tire onto the wheel, there's a metal bead ring all the way around that pinches the bead of the tire between an outer ring and then the wheel itself. On a regular wheel, the tire is held in place by the internal air pressure. The bead of the tire is seated just inside the lip of the wheel, and the wheel is just one piece. As you lose air pressure, it's more likely that the tire can be pushed off of the bead of the wheel. This also limits how low you can air your tires for off-road wheeling. These Kumho tires and Method 20-inch wheels are the wheel and tire that came with my Jeep when I bought it. They look great. They have excellent on-road handling. They do fine off-road, and I've dragged them through 32 different Jeep badge trails, including Pritchett Canyon. You can kind of see some of the damage here, and they've held up. They're very strong. However, they beat the absolute shit out of me on the trail. I have wanted to move to 17-inch wheels for a long time because of the extra benefits of the softer ride, the greater flex, and airing down to extremely low pressures for different situations. So those advantages of a beadlock wheel and the extra sidewall are just something I can't really ignore. So for me, downsizing from a 20-inch wheel to a 17-inch wheel with the same 37-inch size tire was the right decision. I've already had these new wheels and tires off-road. The ride is so much better, airing down to about 10 PSI. I could only air down to about 14 PSI on the original wheels, and it would still shake and rattle me all over the trail. There's one more interesting thing I want to tell you about these Toyo Open Country MTs. This was not my first choice of tire. because they are so heavy. This tire is 100 pounds. It's 10 pounds heavier than almost every other tire in the same size. Why is it 10 pounds heavier? Well, it turns out that they're actually a lot bigger than other tires of the same size. Look at this 37-inch tire, look at this 37-inch tire. They are clearly not the same size. I gained almost an inch of diameter switching to these Toyo tires. And when they're mounted on the Jeep, they retain that diameter. So I actually gained about ½ an inch of overall clearance switching to these new tires. I'm very pleased with it. These side lugs are almost as big as the tread on normal tires. They're huge, and so I'm really not concerned at all with the durability of this tire. It looks indestructible to me. If you're considering tires and wheels, I hope that's some information you might be able to use. Definitely consider a smaller wheel size. Why did I have to live near a runway? Definitely look at getting a smaller wheel if you'll be doing a lot of off-roading. Thanks for tuning in. Consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you next time. It is so hot in Texas right now.